Hello. Welcome to Beauty Wise 333. My name is Tina, and I am so glad that you're here to join me for another message. This message is about suffering in silence. I was told to give this message because there is someone out there that really needs to hear this. You may be suffering in silence, but you are spiritually and vibrationally loud. You see, we are energy transfers. And even though you may be suffering in silence, that law of attraction is bringing those sufferings to you. You may be suffering in silence, but you're disturbing a lot of others' lives. And most likely, very much so, even more so, your own. What we need to do is to open up our mouths and communicate about how we feel. What's the sense in suffering in silence? You tell me. Because you don't want to disturb anybody? But again, we are energy transfers. So you're disturbing yourself, family, friends, children. And I know that's not your intention. But this is what we're going to have to do because we're going to have to open up. Did you wonder why so many people these days have thyroid conditions? Including myself, because before I opened up my throat chakra, I was having issues as well. So this is about speaking up. Don't hold that inside. Who is that benefiting? When you hold hurt, fear, anxiety, or anything on the inside, that is what pulls your energy down, and you are not benefiting yourself. Whatever it is, if you feel that you can't speak to people about it, pray. Speak to your spirits about it. Speak to God about it. Speak to yourself about it. Get into meditation. These things are very important for a happy, comfortable, successful life. And people just don't understand how much damage they do to themselves when they hold that anger or hurt in. I've been through it. I've been there. And it did nothing for me except draw negative experiences into my life. And my happinesses were short-lived along the way. Now, I don't hold anything in, and I suggest that you do the same thing. You see, we have this thing called the inner child. And if we don't take care of that inner child will run havoc in our lives. That's a child that has been ignored, has faced childhood trauma, and ain't going nowhere. We may grow up and be adults, but we still have that inner child inside of us, men and women. You see, you have to pay attention to that inner child, because if you don't, that inner child starts to throw fits and tantrums when it's triggered, and you wouldn't even be able to hear your intuition telling you what to do. And your intuition don't have no time to be babysitting no inner child. So you got to get that inner child straight so that you can be in alignment more so often than not. You see, I was born from that era where children should be seen and not heard. Or you're a latchkey kid because mom had to go to work. Okay, so sometimes these things traumatize a child. They feel abandoned. They feel ignored, not heard. And those emotions and feelings just stay stored in our body. And it comes out in negative ways, even in relationships. I learned that. You see, when you get into a relationship, this is men and women the same, and that person was paying you so much attention in the beginning and just loving up on you, and then naturally things will change. But when that person falls short of paying that same attention to you, you start going into panic mode, like something must be wrong. You feel like you're going to be abandoned. And look, I don't care how beautiful you are, how pretty you are, how talented you are, how much you got. It does not matter. What matters is how are you treating that inner child. You've got to go in deep. You've got to reflect. You know, this pandemic thing did wonders for me because it took me out of society, out of public places, out of public transportation. Just put me in my house, and I've been in my house for the last 2.5 years, and I can almost count on 2 hands how many times I left. I don't feel I missed anything. I love it. I was built for that. Because within that time of living alone and being by myself, I had nothing to do but reflect on the inner and speak to my child and tell my child everything's going to be all right. And you don't have to ever worry about me abandoning you. And I am going to make boundaries to protect you. And I will never leave you. And when I start putting that self-love on myself and taking care of myself, and I don't mean by dressing up, doing your hair, getting dressed and all that. I mean taking care of yourself, loving yourself, telling people no when you need to, giving yourself them nice bubble baths and massages, eating good foods, taking care of your body, exercising, just doing everything to make you feel good absorbs into that inner child. And when you and that inner child are in agreement with one another and they trust you, they will be a happy child. And a happy child will allow you to smile. Okay? And that is so true. So believe me when I say, take care of yourself. Because when that inner child throws fits, people, even relationships, intimate relationships can tell. And then you have those people that may not have the patience for things like that, you know, or take advantage of things like that because now your weakness was spotted. And we're not weak people. We've got to take care of that inner so that it shines on the outer. And we don't look to people for love and attention. We be that love and attention that we want to receive. We be it. And if we be it, we don't need it because we're already it. So if you find yourself feeling desperate for relationships, feeling you need somebody to be complete, you know, all those little things going around, you have an inner child that needs attention and fast. Okay? Now, if you're in your 20s and your 30s, you know, you may have a little time. But damn, I had to take care of that in emergency. And you don't want to be put in that situation to where, because it's very uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable to rely on someone else or think you need someone else to make you happy. You were born happy. You allowed life and people to take that away. So you got to grab a hold. You got to understand your inner child. Treat yourself well. Put that inner child first before anything. And that translates into put yourself first. And then you will see what a change that will do for your life. And if anybody wants to call you selfish, so what? Because now you know they got an inner child they need to take care of as well. It's called the awake phase. Wake up. I've had all this time. I rebuilt myself. I reinvented myself. So if everybody says, wow, yeah, spend some time with yourself. Because you're not that bad of a company. If you can't spend time with yourself and be by yourself, nobody else can either. Nobody's going to want to. So learn to love yourself. Be your own best company. And that will translate outwards. Because being spiritually and vibrationally suffering, that energy is just spilling over into all parts of your life and making your life run a havoc, making your inner child unhappy, and everything that has to do with that. You see, that's the baseline of law of attraction, and this is where I'm trying to get you to. Yes, law of attraction, those thoughts and everything, keeping it high, staying up on that level, bringing all the goodness in your life, letting go those people and places and things that's pulling back your energy. But I want you to know where the root of those sloppy thoughts are coming from, because it's those sloppy thoughts that are bringing things to you that you say, oh, where did that come from? Where? You. So let's work on this, and I'm going to leave you with a little light of prayer. I like to do that. Here is the light. I'm giving you this light to shine on your inner child. Your inner child needs attention. You are the only one that can babysit that child. You can't get rid of the child. You can't pass it on to someone else to babysit. That child will be with you forever. So until forever, from right now, I shine this light and give you the energy of this fire, this burning flame that's going to open up your heart and your mind and kind of stimulate that mind eye, that third eye, to see what's going on in your life. Because when you look around you, everybody, a lot of people are awakening. So this, on my channel, and what I'm here for is to guide you on over from the material to the spiritual, so we can all live happy. And again, I'm going to say, for those people that are in the dark and doing things that are not in anyone's best interest in the dark, you can now walk into the light while you're on earth, or you can be afraid to walk into the light when you are no longer here. But all in all, this message was given to you from my spirits and ancestors, me only being the messenger, but given to you from Beauty Wise 333, giving it to you with love and light and beauty. And until the next time, I'm just going to keep on loving on you.